Alright, when you hear the intro, I think it's helpful to start subdividing the 16th notes. In my head, I'm counting one E and for each beat. One E and two E and I also count it as eighth note gets one beat, one E and a two E and a three and four and five and a six and seven, eight, one E and a two E and a three and four and five. Anytime you see a dotted symbol, it breaks down into three parts, or in this case, 6 parts. So 1 E and a 2 E and 3 and 4 and 5. Alright, get out of here. 1 and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. 7, 8, 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, over here at measure 7, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, so don't wait for this, for those fast notes to start counting. I'm going to try to keep the same tempo from here to there. So it should be 1 and 2 and 5 and a 6 and a 7 and 8 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and 4 and this right here, this little riff, sounds like "Oh, when the Saints." Oh, when the Saints. Okay. As far as breathing goes, the rest, and then sometimes people will lift here. It's not my favorite because the word rapturous goes to the word hour. So hopefully you don't have to breathe there. Hopefully you can get a good enough breath here by releasing early. You can release the last syllable a little bit early so that you can come in on time for the syllable after the rest. 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 5, 6. And then of course the breath at the rest. Geht so grunde, geht so grunde. Now this one, you'll need a bigger breath. If you are taking in oxygen for these two places, then take in very little. It may even be that one of them is a lift, which I mark like this, the backwards symbol. So that's for a lift, and that's for a breath. But definitely here, a big breath for the singer. And then if you're counting the 16th notes, the rhythm will be simpler. 5 and 6 and 5 and 6 and, yeah, 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 1 and 6 and 7, 8. These notes are deceptively longer than a lot of singers give them credit for, and it's even more difficult because I'm not giving you any subdivisions. 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 6 and 7 and 8. Oh, when the saints go marching in. And this is the same rhythm. This bit and this bit. Oh, when the saints. Time your breath over here to make sure that you last until the end of Vida. Okay, whenever you need to start breathing during this, just practice releasing. I don't know the right time, like if there's one right answer, but maybe it's an 8th note and an 8th rest, maybe it's dotted 8th note and then the 16th rest to finish that beat. You have to figure that out for yourself. Next page. Now this here, practice singing this slowly because the leap of the 5th, especially since the C sharp, I'm not playing the C sharp in my chord, I'm just playing a D major chord, so it's going to sound dissonant. Okay, and then this backwards N, means someone in the past sang a wrong note here. So listen to the chord. It's a diminished chord, G sharp, B, and D. And like most diminished chords, it's in first inversion. So the B is in the bass. Those are the notes. And then here, this might be a lift because there aren't that many notes. I don't know. And then during this portion, practice breathing and preparing rather than waiting for the last moment to breathe. Now, I'm going to try my best not to accelerate. Yeah, and I'm going to try to do a poco crescendo. Even before this is marked, I want to try to do a poco crescendo the entire, I don't know, section. Ihr brennen Mut und bald ihr Leben. Probably here's a breath. One of these two places might be a lift. You can think on that. Ist keiner stur von euch. Notice that here we are together, singing the note D, and then here we are not together. But in case you're a theory nerd, you can notice the tritone resolution. So fulfilling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here unison, that's good to know. And then here unison. This blue arrow is a clue to carry or to sustain the note until the rest and not to release too soon. Der doch ach, der Mann, der euch geschrieben, brennt lang. Make sure you're supporting. I don't have a symbol for that, but support and moving forward. Crescendo, lang noch. Sometimes people will do a little catch breath here. Noch vielleicht in mir. And definitely no breath. NB, no breath after leicht in mir. Because of the repeated text. Brennt. Yes, a breath there. Vielleicht. And then these dotted rhythms. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again, if you're counting 16th notes, you're going to have, wrong color. You're going to have 3 of them for each of these notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's like now what else? There's another thing. Oh yeah, I'm gonna begin my rolled chord with the bottom note on the beat. So when I play this top note, it's going to be after you sing the note. Der sollt, der fein. And then when you sing the A sharp, I'm going to play the A sharp a little bit later, just because I'm putting the thumb note on the beat. Don't let that confuse you. Zeugt von heißer Fantasie in einer. And then the don't drag bit, that has to do with putting your vowel vowel on the beat. Because I'm supposed to wait for your consonants, but I'm going to try to be steady. So if you're counting the 16th note, or even better, the 32nd note, you'll be fine there. In einer, make sure you have the... Sometimes people will do a glottal here. No, this color. In einer Fantasie. A lot of these words, especially when they end in a schwa, make sure that you have the diminuendo, rischen, Stimmen zu brachte, so Gründe, it's Gründe, ihr Kinder Melancholie. I don't see the mark that shows which syllable of this word is emphasized, but this is on the strong beat, So listen to some recordings. Melancholy. Maybe you can lean into here because it's the exclamation point. I don't know, just listen to recordings. Il donket flammen. All these notes are long enough, definitely spin, which I mark as this for singing vibrato, and move those forward. Flammen, euer, sein. Delay the diphthong. Sein. No, wrong color. This one. Sein. Gib euch nun Flammen wieder. Another place to have the diminuendo. Wieder. And I have this. So I'm going to emphasize the downbeat, and I'm going to be quite right after that. It's going to be kind of like a forte piano marking, the way I play it. Und all die schwärmerischen Lieder. Again there, Lieder. Denn ach, sei nicht mehr allein. Wir brennet nun here. Yes, it's comma, but I would vote keep the energy building. You burn now, and soon, dear ones. Yeah, because you, the character, are at least a little animated about what's happening right now in the poem. Ihr Lieben ist keine Spur von euch. Here, work on the vowel. That's what the funky V is for. Mehr hier euch, and here doch ach, der Mann, der. You could decide if you want to have a separation, man der euch or man der euch. I think personally I would try to separate. And the man who wrote you will burn for a long time. And then maybe Hunt will disagree, but I would give you a little bit of time if you wanted to repeat this text. In mir, because it's a deceptive cadence, we would call it. This is the 6th chord. If B is 1, then G is 6. So the 6th chord, deceptive cadence. Brennt lange. Now we'd come right back into tempo, but if you wanted to have the comma last a little longer, I would do that for you. This grace note is going to sound like 2 16th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So maybe I should write it like this: 16th, 8th, and then this 16th. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And maybe that's all for now.